Everybody, so this is part 2 to the case yesterday of our YouTube viewer case, and it was a grandparent case. And just to reiterate, he was born in 1968 in Texas and he was adopted. His biological father has been identified. He was born in 1940, also in Texas, and he was adopted. So we have back-to-back 2 generations of somebody who was adopted. Client's goal was to identify who his biological father's birth parents were, so a grandparent case. So our client was looking for his paternal grandparents. So welcome back to Client Stories with Aimee. So what makes this case super tricky is we have a lot of small matches. We don't have a lot of really good matches. We have a lot of matches with no trees. So it's not super easy trying to weave all of this into the tree to prove his biological line. That being said, we have part of it proven. So we have one line that is probably the great-grandparent line to our client, maybe the great-great-grandparent, but I'm going to go with the great-grandparent case for the sake of this video. I can't decipher based on the DNA matches, so we're going to just go with it. I'm going to call this line the Smith line, and I've got it proven. This Smith line, most recent common ancestor, has 8 children. 8 children. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those children lines with DNA matches, like at 100-ish, maybe a little bit less. I think there might be a couple more that might be a little bit higher than that, but I'd say on average right around 100-ish centimorgans. We can prove that 2 of these children did not marry. We can prove at least 1 of these children we don't have DNA to a spouse line that can be eliminated. Once we did all of that work, we were left with 2 sisters on the Smith line that we have proven DNA to prove that our client is related to these 2 sisters. Their spouses, looking at their DNA, would be the next step. Who do we have DNA to? Who do we not have DNA to? You eliminate the ones that you don't have DNA to, and it should technically, in an ideal world, leave 1 child with a spouse where we have DNA. And I have 2. I have 2 sisters who married 2 completely different men that are unrelated to each other that we have DNA to, so I don't know which one's which. The next caveat to this is like, oh my goodness, one of them has a handful of kids. We can test a descendant to prove. However, the other one has no known children. She marries in 1884, and timing is key to this case, which is so frustrating. She marries in 1884, so she's on the 1880 census with her family. 1884, she gets married. The 1890s is completely gone. And at 1900 on the census, she's listed as a widow living in a mental institution in Texas. She's living in this mental institution from 1900, based on the census record. She's in there in 1910, she's in 1920, she's in there in 1930, and we have a death certificate for 1938 where she was in that facility. The informant is the hospital. No family information is known. She's buried in the cemetery for the mental institution. So we don't know if between 1884 and 1900 is when her husband dies, and we don't know what happened in between. We don't know if she has any children. I looked at all of the family members for her siblings and for the husband's siblings to see if maybe somebody had a niece or a nephew living with them. Couldn't find any evidence of it. So it's technically possible that she had a child, and I just can't find any record of it based on what's going on. Another wrench in that side of the family line is that same husband. There's a man with the exact same name, unrelated to him or his family, completely unique family, but the exact same name, first, middle, last, in the same town. So sorting through that has been a nightmare too. No obituary. I can't find anything on it. And of course, she didn't have an obituary because no family was known listed for her. So that's kind of where I'm at. I am working on getting some contact information for this second sibling line and doing a little bit more DNA work to see if I can figure out some more information. But that's where we are. I think we're going to have to target test this second sister's line to see if she's a match, and hopefully she is. Hopefully this line is it. If not, we're going to be stuck with speculations and we can't prove anything. But that's where we are with that complicated case, and I will see you guys later. Bye.